All right, welcome back. I'm gonna play this short video by what you gonna call it, Ikechukwu. I didn't know they called him Kills, but he said he also has another name, I guess rapper name as Kills. Um, what do we have here? There you go, that one right there. There you go. So I'm gonna play this video, then we'll talk.
You get one day where I did London when I still there inside the marriage will no work.
Oh, your marriage is over.
Baba stop and you Sabina, you also on phone like say What did they do you? What did they do you?
Can I say it? Your
Yes.
ex called me one day out of the blues, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
literally
don't
went off on me.
don't sugarcoat. Don't sugarcoat. She said what?
I don't remember what happened, but she just went off on me. I don't know what comment I made, and I'm like, Ikechukwu, what's going on?
You know,
I don't know
sometimes
where she got my number from. So I just saw
only
this random call.
no be me give am o.
Wife or something.
No be me give am o.
So how did she get it?
We go be maybe that our good friend Chini Love, the producer, will be a major part of the scattering of our wedding, our marriage.
What happened, bro? Tell us.
That's another story for another day. But we stay with this movie story.
And we have just 5 more minutes because Instagram's gonna cut me off. So this is the
Are you
juice I want.
serious?
What happened between you and your wife?
Irreconcilable differences.
Who cheated on who?
Cheat no be won't be problem. Cheating, Baba, cheating. Come on, I'm the number one guy that will tell you, instead of cheating on a relationship, scatter the relationship and go your single way and have what you want, instead of being inside the relationship and cheating. Serious relationship, if you are playing around, then okay, then nobody is cheating on anybody because everybody is playing around. But if you're inside serious relationship, seriously, talk less of marriage, chill now. I did try, yo. I did try.
So what happened? What was this irreconcilable difference? Somebody do somebody juju because now waiting they get this scatter marriage.
There was too much gaslighting, too much looking for fault, too much listening to random people who don't know you. They tell you nonsense, you know, and then just a very, very, very messed up complex. A very, very messed up complex. Me, I no get time for, but when I'm in love, I be woman rapper. Yourself, you know that one.
I know.
When I'm in love, I be woman rapper. So sometimes the things where kills the soji sharp to nod off. Ike, they ignore them. They give them benefits of the doubt. They create reason for why the things they justified to happen. And at one point, Ike just couldn't deal anymore. So Kills had to come in and protect him. And when Kills came to protect Ike, I guess Shorty realized how she had taken Ike for granted because she didn't like Kills. She didn't like Kills. Kills no they stand. Kills they tell people truth straight up. Ike they like to pamper or be conservative with his communication and stuff like that. But trust me, I tried. You said no say I tried. You just won't make her talk like this. But I tried. I gave it every single thing that I could possibly
Whatever
give.
you told me in private.
Yes, sir.
Unless you say it with your mouth in public, I can only prod you to say it. I cannot say it on your behalf.
Baba, the woman try emasculate me. They were always making me feel like I wasn't enough. I wasn't good enough. Meanwhile,
you were.
You get one day where I did London when I still there inside the marriage will no work.
All right. What are your thoughts about this? Okay, obviously we can't talk. We don't know much about a person's life off of just a few minutes of, we don't know much, right? There's only so much. What's going on, Mindra? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. We don't know much, right? Shout out to Marriott. Marriott says, I thought he had a big love story not long ago. Sucks for them. All right, and freeze pressures people to divulge information. It's uncomfortable to watch. These are public figures, but after all, we're going to extract these lessons by force, by fire. Mwaba says, is chaos is alter ego. Chaos. You call it chaos? He said it's kills. Right? That's the one. That's what I'm spelling on the KILLZ. Okay, so the alter ego is really it's not chaos, kills. Yeah, you have to use American accent to pronounce it. Kills. Anyway, so you can see this topic. Ikechukwu kills and breakfast are like 5 and 6. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Let's bring everybody else into the room. Okay, hit the like button. Thank you. Now I do want to analyze this. I do want to nitpick the words that he just uttered. There's a lot of telltale signs in it that you might just want to pay attention to. It doesn't mean that was his life, but I'm just going to use him as a point of contact to your destiny, to your beautiful destiny, so that you don't recreate some of these stories when you could in fact change a few things. All right, so I'm going to play it all over again, then I'll nitpick his words. But before I do that, yes, he was married. It looks like I'm looking at, let me share some pictures with you guys. All right, so I'm actually looking at this on bellanigerweddings.com. This was posted June 25, 2021. So we're talking about less than 3 years ago. And you're going to keep seeing more and more stories like this, sadly, because people are coconutted. They would think they can use common sense to, they think they can use common sense. They would think they can use just because they're a good guy, a good girl. They think that's enough to sustain a collaboration in a romantic way with another human being for a lifetime. The reality that you're seeing is that it's not enough. I know over the past few days we've covered the Legion story and all of that. It has nothing to do with if you're a good person or not. Don't be smart. You're supposed to be a good person, though, right? Already. So there's no need to, we don't need to convince you to be a good person. It's either you're a good person or you're a bad person. That has nothing to do with what creates success in marriage. And you can see in his rhetoric, he said a few times, I tried. Sometimes your best is not enough. You might say it's the village people that are after you, but my conclusion for the most part is a matter of skill set. You don't have the skills. Okay? Skills, as in skills. SKILLZ, skills, right? So you can see they had a beautiful picture, as you can see here. She looks beautiful. I can't see in the glasses now, but she looks beautiful too, right? And you can see here it says we never get tired of celebrating love at Bella Niger, blah blah blah, right? Anyway, that was their wedding. I'm just going to show you the picture. Yeah, she seems beautiful. So they had a full-blown wedding, right? It seems like it was in 2021. Okay, now this all looks beautiful while it's happening. All weddings are beautiful as far as I'm concerned. It's just beautiful to see a wedding, but fortunately for us, that's when the work starts. Right? Now you have to figure out how to actually do marriage, not wedding. Wedding is a transition. It's a transition point, right? There are 5 stages inside of which I'm going to do a whole teaching on later on. There's 5 stages. There's friendship, there's dating, there's relationship, there's courtship, and then there's marriage. Wedding is not one of the stages. Wedding is a point of transition from courtship into marriage, right? But we tend to spend the most time on a transition point, right? And there's nothing wrong with you. You're not abnormal if you've done that. You know, it's not a mistake. Majority of us do that. The reality is that majority of us that say we do, I do, you don't know what you're doing while you're doing it. Okay? Once you've done, once you have done, after you did inside the stage, and now you have to learn actually how to maintain that stage. And one of the keys to that is learning how to reference back to the 4 other stages before that when it's needed. There's gonna have multiple times, multiple phases in that marriage stage where you reference back to some of those stages that you think you've passed. One of the major issues with a lot of people is that they don't. They think we're in marriage now, so they deserve. They think because they're a good guy inside of marriage, they deserve a partner that will just be God. And that's unrealistic expectations. That's a lot of the issues. Okay? That image is beautiful, right? I think I saw when he introduced her to us, they were definitely in love. Hey, yeah. I think he's trying to say she created the monster he became because he felt emasculated in the relationship. Yes. He alluded to the emasculation thing, right? And then he talked about the double persona, you know, the Ikechukwu and then the kills. You know, and then he brought that into the conversation. I wasn't sure what to do with that, you know, because if you are telling us the story in the form of 2 personas, I hope that's not what you did inside of the marriage, because that would definitely create confusion, right? When you're talking about a vision, it must be aligned. One, why people stay in one, right? It's a massive, once you can figure it out, it's a massive force against the forces of evil. If you can't figure it out, the forces of evil will attack your marriage from every corner, and you will still be a good guy and a good girl. Okay? And you'll be right, and you can do shalaye all you want, but there's no evidence, and you might just end up shalaye tired. Mario said, I hope it's not money related. Emasculation is sometimes a code word for that. Yes, I went broke. And then she didn't respect me anymore, and then she started talking to me anyhow. Yeah, these are crises. Those are conflicts. It can be conflict, it can be crisis. And part of the skill set that they never teach us before we go into it. Some of us, we learn it in the corporate sector, but we don't. But you know, the way it's applicable in romantic relationship is quite different. You know, how to handle conflict, crisis. So if you're presented with that, it can be coded as emasculation. And really, the reality is that you got a problem and you're giving your problem away. And one of the biggest issues, one of the best ways to shoot yourself on the legs when it comes to marriage is to give your problem away. Don't give your problem away. Don't give your, what does that look like? You're pointing fingers. You're blaming everything else, everyone else but self. And the reality is that you don't have to blame anyone. You don't have to blame yourself either. Okay? Yep. Black Diamond said, can't take this guy seriously, I beg. Speaking in third person about himself, he should take several seats. Black Diamond, that was one of the first things I picked up. Right? Because that's classic. That's classic sign of the word that I don't want to use. When somebody speaks about themselves in third person, they're obviously trying to avoid some level of responsibility. Okay, they are quoting, the sugar coating the actual story. Now, I don't expect him. It would be unrealistic of me to expect him to tell us the full truth and the whole truth on the Daddy Freeze platform when, you know, in fact, the laugh that he was laughing, that laugh was kind of like, Baba, do you mean this laugh? Is this a laugh of pain, or what kind of laugh is this one? That laugh was fake, as far as I could see. Okay, but this young man is not exactly young. How old is Ikechukwu? I am curious. How old is Ikechukwu? Ikechukwu should be about our age, maybe slightly younger, 40, maybe slightly younger. Let me see if his age is anywhere on the internet. His real name is Ikechukwu Onunaku. But Ikechukwu goes way back. He went back to Nigeria around the same time that the Banky W's went back. So he's got to be at least 40 or right there, you know. So it's not a baby, you know, it's not a baby. But we also know 60-year-old men that don't know how to talk on the internet. They do exist, okay. All right. So yes, speaking about himself in the third person is it's a telltale sign that at least that person did not have the skills of skills, skillz, to stay inside of a marriage. They don't have the skills, and it has nothing to do. Part of the skills is not to be a good person. That's not a skill set. Okay, that's not part of it. You're supposed to be a good person regardless. And I am not shocked. I'm not surprised that you feel like you're a good person and you tried everything. You're not wrong. It's just that it's not relevant. That's all. Okay. So it's another picture here. Another picture. They seem very happy. But of course, they're getting married. Most people, I hope so, they're getting married on their wedding. They are happy, right? But they generally don't have an idea of what they're getting into. Okay. And they were dancing here. Looks like. But I'm not gonna play the music because they're thirsty in that music industry. They'll slap our videos. All right. So let me see. They look happy here. Look at this. A beautiful picture. Oh man, how sweet would it be that these people are this beautiful and they actually know what to do to keep it together when crisis inevitably hits. Crisis will hit anything that's worthwhile in life. A nation, a marriage, a relationship, a business, right? An organization, an institution, anything that's worthwhile in life will be hit inevitably by crisis. It's just the way it works, okay? The question is that, are most people prepared for it? Of course not, okay? Of course not. They're never prepared for it. Let me see. Oh. All right, so that's a video of it here. Anyway, so let me leave that at that. Let me go back to this. I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna go back to. Let's hear what I want to nitpick what he said. Okay, I want to take it one word at a time. Okay, so he was talking about something else. He chimed in on the conversation of. Let me see. There's another one here. Okay, maybe this one is actually better. It was talking about something. I was chiming in on the conversation of the industry, music, everything that happened last week with the remedies, Abdul Karim, Idris, and all those kind of guys, right? That's all it was chiming in, and then he decided to tell on himself. Let's keep going. It just leading when I still there inside the marriage, we no work. Wait, what? Did you want to tell us something? Oh, sorry. Let me go back again. I'll do it again.
You get one day where I did London. When I still there inside the marriage, we no work.
He said it was one time it was in London when it was still inside of a marriage that did not work.
Oh, your marriage is over.
Baba.
And Daddy Free is like, let me pretend like I didn't know. Oh, your marriage is over.
Stop and you Sabina, you also on phone like this.
What happened between you and your wife?
Irreconcilable differences.
Who cheated on who?
Cheating no will be problem. Cheating.
So he said irreconcilable differences. There's some part that skip jumped here, but I'll see if I can get back to it. Let's keep going.
Baba, cheating. Come on. I'm the number one guy that will tell you, instead of cheating on a relationship, scatter the relationship and go your single way and have what you want.
So he's right about that. Most people think that it's cheating that ends the marriage. It is not. Most people don't even leave after they find out somebody cheated on them. Why? Not because of anything special. It's just, there's vested interest. It's not easy to just exit, right? Most people don't leave, okay? Not at least after the first time that they find out, right? So, and most people think cheating is like because they wrote it on paper. It's one of the easiest things to write on paper at the courthouse. Either infidelity or they say financial stuff. Or what's the third one that they always say? Irreconcilable differences, right? Those are the after effect. Okay, those are the things you remember at the courthouse when you are filling out the divorce paper. Okay, the things that actually cause if you're skipping pride and unrealistic expectations, then you don't know what causes. Then that's probably that yeah, you're probably gonna fall for the same thing, okay, for the same okido, right? Pride, unrealistic expectation, because when you have these things, you can't handle conflict, okay? Conflict will happen, okay? When people cheat, at that time, right, they cheated, right? But oftentimes people don't leave, not because of cheating, okay? So, but they might remember that because it's painful, and they'll write that down in the courts, and everybody's walking around town and talking about that's the cause of infidelity. Even we have lawyers, attorney lawyers saying this, and it's just not true. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that are usually never talked about before. Like, for example, let's say there's a financial crisis going on. How you handle that, if you don't have the skills to handle that, you're going to come back and tell us that somebody emasculated you. It's just what it is. Ice, welcome.
Instead of being inside a relationship and cheating. Serious relationship. If you are playing around, then okay, then nobody is cheating on anybody because everybody is playing around. But if you're inside serious relationship, seriously, talk less of marriage. Chill now. I dey try. So
what happened? What was this irreconcilable difference? Somebody do somebody juju because now waiting they hear they scatter marriage.
There was too much gaslighting, too much looking.
What is too much gaslighting? What the hell is that? Now I get it, it's the internet. You didn't want to tell us the detail, but what is that? Right? Anyone can accuse anybody of gaslighting. Just because you said something I don't like, I can easily look at you and say you're gaslighting me. Okay? That's a cue for self-awareness for you if you tend to use that word, gaslighting. Okay? Did somebody say something that triggered you and then you go for the gaslight you? Well, inside of marriage, you're going to need to come up with a little bit more than just you're being gaslit. Okay?
For fault.
What is looking for fault? Somebody's looking for fault. If somebody is accusing you of something that you have fault, right? They're going to point out the fault. If you're not ready to receive that, you're going to say they're always looking for fault. I have felt that way before. I know the feeling, right? But if you don't know how to get past this, yes, your marriage will end. If all you have, if the only solution you have for when you feel like somebody is just looking for fault is to call it out, your marriage will precisely end, literally. Let's keep going.
Too much listening to random people we don't know you.
If you have a tendency to blame external factor, like the rain, sunshine, snow, the family, her sisters, her brother, that person that's inside of our ears, that sister-in-law that's always teaching your husband on how to treat you. If you have a tendency to point fingers at this thing inside of your own marriage, you will help the marriage end faster than it needs to, even if ever it needs to end, okay? Because the reality is that there are influences, they are inevitable, there will continue to be influences, and you're going to also have your own feelings that are usually inaccurate, right? You're going to find enough reasons, enough things around to point fingers at, and then that will take a lot of energy away from actually working on your marriage. Yes, there's an extremely high chance that your marriage will end.
Tell you nonsense, you know.
They tell you nonsense. Her sisters talk to her. Her friends talk to her. When she comes home, who are you been hanging out? These people are teaching you. If this is where all your attention is going, oh yeah, you're going to push your spouse. They're going to feel more comfortable. Remember, it's about feelings, right? They're going to feel more comfortable. They feel safer with those people they will run as opposed to them feeling safe and secure with you, right? And yes, that would dramatically increase the chances that your marriage will end.
And then,
yes, dramatically increase the chances that your marriage will end. If this is a reality, let's say you truly feel like somebody is teaching your spouse, your first step is to pretend like they don't exist. They do exist, but your first step is to actually temporarily pretend like these people don't exist. Look at your spouse as a full-blown adult. They're making their own decision, and learn how to deal with your problem. Okay, if you give your problem away to all those external people, yeah, and yes, they indirectly have the power to destroy your marriage, not necessarily directly as you might be seeing it, like they don't want your marriage to never work. This way, Loriro, you don't have the skills So what do? You look for anything that smell like anything you can blame. You blame it. If you didn't have those friends, you will blame his mother or her mother or something external. You blame it. The reality is that you don't have to employ blame at all. Okay, you could just look at your marriage as what it is. Something is bad. Something is not working. Let's learn the skills. Okay, if it was so simple, if it was easy, right? Every time your spouse brings you a basketballs, right? I'm not asking you to turn the other cheek. That's not what I'm telling you to do. That doesn't work either. Okay, what I'm telling you is that please don't give the problem away. Don't give it away to people that are just influences. Okay, at most they're influences. That's the most they can be. Most likely you're just being salty and you're not paying attention to the fact that these are your problems. Okay,
just a very, very, very messed up complex. A very, very messed up complex. Me, I no get time for madness, but when I'm in love, I be woman rapper. You said,
what is woman rapper? Does that mean you're a simp? Does that mean you just turn the other chick every time? Is that what that means? You just extra nice? Is that what that means when you're in love? Okay, let's keep going.
You know that one.
You could tell me. I don't know what woman rapper is. I have an idea, but I'm not sure. Tell me what woman rapper is in pidgin English.
I know.
When I'm in love, I be woman rapper. But trust me, I tried. You said no, say I tried.
Does that mean he's a lover boy when you're in love? Is that what that means?
Just won't make her talk like this, but I tried. I gave it every single thing that I could possibly
Whatever
give.
you told me.
Baba, do.
So he gave it. He's absolutely right about that. He gave it all he had, which so far sounds like there was no skill set involved. They were just in love. They looked like they're in love. They got married. They didn't know what they were doing, like the rest of us. We say I do, but we don't know what we're doing, right? But then when it was time to engage, okay, I'm confused. It's time to learn something new. They call it gaslight, emasculation, anything fancy. A narcissist, any kind of, textbook terminology or something, they'll pull something out, okay? And there's more than enough of them. You just blame it. It's just because you say, and then, and then at the end of the day, you don't collect breakfast. And now you have extra trauma that you have to deal with as you move into future relationship. And if you're hurt, it's almost impossible that you will admit that you played a part in it. Yeah, that accountability thing will say, it's very difficult. Let's not even front.
The woman try to emasculate me, die, man.
The woman tried to emasculate me, die, man. Okay, now, can you feel emasculated? Yes. Are you being emasculated? I guess you can say that. Do you feel less than a man because of the crisis that you're facing in your relationship? Yes. Okay. Now, is that an excuse? No. Ignorance is not an excuse. You can, in fact, feel emasculated precisely because of your lack of skills.
Emasculates me, die. It will always making me feel like I wasn't enough. I wasn't good enough. You get one?
So when somebody is complaining about certain behaviors, even if it's their own fault, right, you will feel like you're not enough. Insecurity will creep in, and you have to fight it with everything you have. If you fight it with your emotions, it's not going to work. If you fight it with emotional intelligence, you have a great chance. Do you fall out of the skies with emotional intelligence? No. You have to learn it, okay? You have to learn it. All right? You're going to have to learn it.
Day where I did London, when I still there inside, the marriage will not work.
All right, so let me see. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything there. Because,
You get one day where I did London, when I still there inside, the marriage will not work.
Oh, your marriage is over.
Baba, stop and you Sabina, you also on phone like say. What did they do you? What did they do you?
Can I say it? Your ex called me one day out of the blues, you know?
Yeah.
And
all right, so let's leave that alone. I think let me see here. Yeah, let's leave that alone right there. I just love their picture, man. I crave for this type of beautiful weddings to really last. When the amount of work you put into the wedding, emotional work, not talking about the finances, I'm not talking about any of that kind of stuff. The amount of emotional work you put in, like, you see how you want that wedding to really be a beautiful day, you need to put 10,000 times that kind of work into the marriage. And it's not something you're going to learn in one day. It's an ongoing thing for the rest of your life. It just gets easier, that's all. It becomes second nature eventually. You are able to handle crisis a lot better over time. And then everybody say, hey, go couple goals. But they have no idea how much work that goes into this towards the beginning. The closer to the beginning of when you realize this you are, the harder the work is going to be. The closer into the future, from the point that you decide that this is worthwhile, I'm going to put everything in it from an emotional intelligence standpoint and learn how this works, the more you put into that, right, the more you go into the future, the easier it gets. So it's going to almost feel effortless. Okay, but you're not going to fall into that space because you read one book one time one day. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Okay, but it makes sense. If anything is worthwhile, you should expect that there will be some kind of work involved because it's highly rewarding. Okay, let me read some of my chats. As I say, I think people like this, because of their life before expectations is high from him, sadly nothing. Yeah. After joining the Prestige family, after joining the Prestige family, I don't believe anyone can ruin my marriage except me and my partner. Give them the opportunity to. Yes, exactly. Except you or your partner gives them the opportunity to. Actually, that and that or, I'm confused. I actually think it takes both of you to give them, like, if it's only one person that's giving them the chance to ruin it, there's still a very low chance. It's very difficult because you might get drained eventually. But if both of you are locked in, it's impossible. It's literally impossible, outside of just life and death, for anything to end your marriage. Okay, if you say nobody go enter your house, nobody go enter. Yep, if you open a crack in the wall, the devil is coming right through it. Sometimes the devil will be in the form of your mother, his mother, or her mother, or your children. Oh yeah, you have no idea. The devil uses the blind spot. He does not use the obvious. It's not going to fly out of the skies in black garment. No, he's not going to use a side chick. That's obvious. That's the one that everybody is paying attention to. He's going to use a blind spot. Okay, in fact, your husband might be a Christian, as in like die-hard Christian church boy. So obviously the devil might not be able to use side chick for him. He will use something else. Okay, in fact, sometimes you might just be inside the marriage, you never enjoy it. How about that one? Daddy Freeze, I'm above Niger. Jesus Christ, that one, his own trauma is idolizing watches and car. That one worship money like na poverty car. Jesus Christ, ice. Hey, easy. Sad though, not a fan. Yeah. Nobody ever own up to divorce or separation. They never take accountability. No, it's very hard to do because your brain, the way the brain works, you just remember the pain, and the pain literally justifies you, and you feel like if it's not that other person's fault, it's their family, it's their other person's, Relationship is between two people and not everybody. Yeah, if the influence is going to happen, you can't say and their friend who is taking nonsense. The moment you say that, you're telling on yourself. That means you put a lot of attention into external factors. And you probably didn't really know where she's coming from, and she probably just gave in. And she probably had the same issues, no skills, no skill set whatsoever. But I'm going to leave it at that. We got a couple more stories. Let me know what your thoughts are about the Ikechukwu. And yes, I did nitpick his words. I don't know. Somebody's going to come in the chat later on and say, oh, you don't know this. Why are you judging them? If you come back and you say something like that, let me tell you right now ahead of time.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Your daddy.
Go and watch the whole video before you leave a comment for me. All right, thank you. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you are notified before every time we go live, every time we drop a new video. I'll be back in 20 seconds.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.